So in the last class, we are discussing about the pandas, and we have seen how to import the data, that is Excel file and CSV file. So that is, once again, I'm repeating the same, that is import numpy and pandas. And here pd.read Excel. So read Excel, and I'm writing the path, the complete path you are writing, and you are going to load the data. So this data, whatever the Excel file is there, that you are going to store in the name called as df1. This part, whatever the data you have got, you are storing this one in the df1. If you want to read the CSV file, means you are taking the liver.csv file, right? And second way of option is without extension, no need of extension, that is directly you can use df, that is liver.csv. So this is going to work when, this will work only when data and Python both are in the same folder, means that is nothing but your data is in the working directory. Meaning of this one is nothing but data set is in your working directory. Okay, so data set is, if you are in working directory, means then only it is going to work, otherwise it will not work. Now coming to this, I have stored this data set, whatever the data set I am having, total 9 records are there, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So index numbers of 0 to 8 and total 9 records I am having. Now here the data set consists of this data where I am having different column names, and this is the data. Now here the most importantly you have to write in your notes is mandatory is types of data. Okay, basically the data is two types. Basically whatever the data we are going to generate, or whatever the data we are going to work, is of two types. The first one is with respect to called as cross-sectional data. The first one is called as cross-sectional data. The first one is called as cross-sectional data. The second one is called as time series data. Basically data is two types. One is called as cross-sectional data and time series data. Cross-sectional data means where it is not dependent on time, which is not dependent, or there is no time related date. There will be no time in that, or for that particular data set, time is not an important variable. For example, you want to predict whether the person will get a job or not. Okay, assume that you want to predict this one. Now for predicting whether the person will get a job or not, means skill set is important, what type of experience he is having important, what type of knowledge he is having important, what type of projects he have done is important, but at what time he has applied is not important. For predicting that one, time is not important. For example, you want to predict the car price. For predicting the car price, time is not important. Age of the car is important. At morning 11 o'clock, if you predict also, at 1 o'clock also, there will be no difference. But if you come to the traffic at Amirpet, time is important. At morning 11 o'clock, the time is going to be, at 11 o'clock, the situation will be different. At 1 o'clock, the situation will be different. At evening 6 o'clock, the situation will be different. Here, the time is important parameter in predicting the traffic in Amirpet. So time is important parameter means then it is called as time series data. If time is not important parameter for that particular data means, then it is called as cross-sectional data. Is that clear? The difference between time series data and cross-sectional data. Now, within the cross-sectional, again I am having two types. The first one is called as continuous data, and the second one is called as discrete. Continuous and discrete. What is meant by continuous means anywhere, any value which is having any value, it can have any value. There is no fixed one. Okay, fixed number of things are not there. Means example, for example, you are predicting the price of a house. Price of a house can be 30 lakhs, 32 lakhs, 33 lakhs, 44 lakhs, 98 lakhs, 1.2 CR, 1.9 CR, anything can be there. Any number can be there. So that number is called as continuous. That type of data is called as continuous. No, sir, if we are having a fixed one, means whether within that, for example, discrete variable. Within the discrete, again, you are having count, discrete count and discrete categorical. Now here, this continuous is nothing but numerical data. Continuous is nothing but numerical data, and discrete count also numerical data. Count also numerical data. Both of them are numerical. That is also numerical. This one also in the numerical format. But this continuous data will have with respect to decimal. Decimal values are allowed. you are having the decimal values. Whereas for count, no decimal values is possible. You can't have the decimal values for that. Then it is called as discrete variable, discrete count data. Both of them are in the numerical format only, but this particular thing is having with decimal. Continuous is with nothing but with decimal. Count is nothing but without decimal. So, example, continuous variable you can take with the price. The price of a car or the price of any particular iPhone, something like this, right? Where this is possible with respect to different values. Whereas discrete count means number of mobile phones. Count variable, count, you can count only. Count variable means where you are having with respect to number of mobile phones means either one mobile phone or two mobile phones or zero mobile phones or three, or number will be there, but 2.2 mobile phones will not be there. How many number of cars you are having? Either 0, 1, 2, 3 or something number will be there, but 1.1 car will not be there. It is not possible. And how many number of vehicles you are having, or how many number of with respect to backlogs you are having, right? Number of degree certificates you are having. All these are count, comes under count. Okay. Now, how many number of beatings you are having from your friend, your girlfriend or boyfriend, whatever it is. Okay, how many number of beatings are there? Either one beating or two beatings, but 1.1 will not be there. 1.5 beating will not be there, right? So this is all comes under count, where you can have with a limited number of categories. Whereas coming to the categorical data, which is nothing but text. Text is considered as categorical data. Okay, text is called as categorical data. So any text, anything comes under categorical data, means simply to say string. Strings comes under here. Now, within the categorical, again it is converted two types. Again it is furtherly divided again into two parts. Categorical again divided into two parts. One is called as nominal and second one is called as ordinal. First category is called as nominal category. Second category is called as ordinal category. Now, what is meant by nominal? Nominal means there is no natural sequence between them. Okay, between them there is no natural sequence, then it is called as nominal data. If there is a natural sequence between them, it is called as ordinal data. Example, for example, let us take hair colors. Okay, one person hair color will be black, brown, and one person will have with different colors of hair, white color hair. Like this, we are having different hair colors are there. Okay, now is white color hair is low when compared to black, or brown color hair is greater than when compared to black? Is there any rule like that? No fixed rule, na? If you feel yourself, means that is from your perspective. Your feeling, that is your feeling, but there is no natural sequence is available. Natural sequence means by default for everyone it should be the same. Whereas if you come with respect to this low class, middle class, high class, or with respect to size, small size, medium size, large size, for anyone that is fixed, na? For everyone knows that it is small size means it is low when compared to medium. When compared to large, medium is less. So there is an order between them is available. For example, if you take your grades, let us go with the grade. A grade, B grade, C grade, something you are having. Everything are equal, huh? No, right? They are not having equality, right? If everything are equal means they are called as nominal. If everything are not equal means then it is called as ordinal. Equal means nominal, not equal means ordinal. There is no natural sequence between them means nominal data. If there is a natural sequence means ordinal data. Is that clear? Type of data. And this is one of the most important in entire data science. Okay. Without this, you can't go to the further. Most means most. Right? So here we are observing the type of the data, and based on the type of the data, we have to apply according to that analysis. For continuous variable, you have to apply in a different way. For categorical variable, you have to apply in a different way. The analysis has to be done in a different ways. Right? And different types of plots are there. We can't apply all that for this type of whatever the plot you are applying for this one, we can't apply for this. What type of plot you are applying for this, we can't apply for this. For each type of data, different types of plots are there. For each type of data, different analysis are there. So based on the data, the analysis will be there, right? So this is with respect to cross-sectional data and time series data, where cross-sectional data is continuous and discrete. Within the discrete, count and categorical, right? Now, how to identify that particular, whether that particular data is a categorical data or whether it is a discrete data or whether it is a numeric continuous data? How to identify? Miss, continuous data you can identify easily because it is with respect to decimal, where the decimal is possible for that. In your data set, it is, for example, height is there. For the height of the students, 6 is the height and 5, 4, 5, 5, 5. Means for height cannot be 5.5. In your data set, it is not there. In your data set, you have got the students, only the height of 5 feet is there. Exactly 5 feet students are there in your class. In your class, you are not having the students of 5.5. Means that is not, height is not possible, right? Height is not possible with decimal. You can't say like this. So we have to decide based on the name, variable name. We have to decide based on the column name. This column, whatever the column name is there, generally in English we are calling as column name. The same thing in statistics is called as variable name. In statistics it is called as variable name. In machine learning it is called as future. Everything is same. 3 of them are same. Just their notations. And basically they both of everything are same. Column name or variable name or future name. Futures or future name, whatever it is. In machine learning, it is called as futures. In the statistics, we used to call as variables, right? And in this, we used to call them as column names. The normal person who don't know statistics or who don't use the with respect machine learning, he will simply say it is column name, general English, common English, right? But everything are same. Now considering this one, so height can be or anything can be with decimal values, it is possible, miss, then it is called as continuous data. If the decimal value is not possible for this one, if you try also you can't get that decimal value, means then it is considered as the count data. And text data you can identify easily, text will be there. Now the question mark is with respect to in the Python, for example, if you come here, this is the data set where I am having the multiple columns are there. And here I am having an option called as df.dtypes. df.dtypes means each column, what is the data type it is going to show. For each column, what is the data type? So first column, age, it is showing as int, means which is in the int format, means there is no float, decimals are not there. Gender is showing as object, which is the text data. Text data will be represented as object. In the pandas, the text will be shown as object. Object means that is nothing but data type. Object means it is nothing but text data, categorical data, right? Float means which is nothing but continuous data. Float means continuous, blindly. Float means continuous. So any data type with object is there, means it is very clear, it is called as categorical data. Fixed, every time fixed, no problem. If the value is in terms of float is there, it is called as continuous data. This is also fixed, again no problem, every time it is fixed. But anything else int is there, here the question mark, it can be either continuous or it can be discrete count also. It can be both the things, either it can be either this one or this one. Whichever was written in the int, for that one you have to observe very clearly. For the object and float, no problem, blindly you can go off, no problem. But whenever you are observing any d type as int, miss, at the time you have to clearly observe whether it is a continuous or discrete. Now how you can identify, miss, see here, okay, it is showing as int, age as int. Now age value can 65, 62, 62, they have taken round figure. But that's though you have given as 65.4, your age as 65.4 also, int of 65.4 they have considered. So it is mentioning 65 only. It is showing as 65 only. So due to that reason, since the data was like this, it is showing that one. Now tell me whether age is continuous variable or discrete count variable. continuous variable because the reason is age can have with respect to decimal values. Age can have the decimal values. Since the decimal values are possible for the age, it is called as continuous. If the age is not having the decimal value, no sir, none of them will have the age as decimal value. For example, your age, what is your age? If I ask you, you are saying my age is 21, sir. Exactly 21, na? Not exactly 21, na? 21.2 or 21.3 or something is there, right? Not exactly 21, right? So now that 21, whatever the age you are having, now that age is having with respect to decimal also is possible. But in your data set, they have collected the int of, directly they have done the int of. But decimal value is possible for the age. So this is called as continuous. So we have to fix not based on the inside data. We have to fix based on the heading, not based on the inside data. We have to check what is meant by age. First, you have to check what is meant by age and what is meant by gender. In the gender, I am having female and male, which is nothing but categorical data. Now, whether this categorical data is nominal data or ordinal data? Nominal data. That's their names. Female is greater than male is no condition is there. Male is greater than female also, there is no condition. That is only from our perspective only. But there is no condition like that. Both are equal. Right? So it is a nominal data. TB. Clearly you can see here the decimal values. And if you check into the internet with respect to what is meant by TB. Now, first step, what we have to do is, whenever we get the data, now after getting the data, first we have to understand the data, clearly understand the data. Understanding the data means here two steps will be there. First step is called as data understanding. Second step is called as data set understanding. Data understanding means, meaning of data understanding is nothing but understanding each and every column clearly. Understanding each variable name clearly. Understanding each and every variable name clearly is called as data understanding. For example, age is there. What is meant by age? You know. What is meant by gender? You know. For example, TB. What is meant by TB? You don't know. You have to understand that. Okay, what is meant by TB? And you don't know, miss. First, you have to do the research for that. Right? So here I have taken the data set which is related to healthcare domain. From the healthcare domain I have taken. So is there any person from this class? Is there any healthcare person from biotechnology or biosciences background or something like this? Now this person will understand everything, but whereas others who is from computer science background, miss, many of them will rise. How many of them from mechanical background? Again, so many people will rise. Now these people, how they'll understand those things then? Now, for example, you have got a project like this. Now, what you are going to do? Sir, I can't do this project. Please send out. You say like this, huh? All right. You have to work on all the projects, right? Every project you have to work, miss, you have to work on the data by observing that one. So we have to understand each and every variable name clearly. What is the meaning of that? Only the variable name. So age, what is meant by age, gender, TB, DB, and whatever you are having, you have to understand completely everything. And second one is data set understanding. Data set understanding is number of records. How many records was given in the data set? This data set might be different. So number of records, number of columns. Records are nothing but rows. Records are called as rows. Number of futures. Number of futures are called as number of columns. Rows are called as records. Columns are called as futures. The columns are called as futures. How many number of columns are there, how many number of rows are there, and in the given data set, how many number of categorical data are there, how many number of continuous variables are there, how many of them are discrete count data are there. Like this, you are calculating how many, and you are observing the data, observation of data set. Your observation of data set is called as data set understanding. Understanding the data is called as data understanding. Now, Now you are a data analyst. Assume that you are a data analyst or a data scientist, both, anything, right? Now the thing is that you have to say, I'm going to give you some records, some data, past data. What is the past data I'm going to give is, before explaining this one, you have, what you have to do is, your work is to predict. You have to predict whether a person has liver problem or not. You have to predict whether the person is having the liver problem or not. This one you have to do. Sir, I'm not a doctor. Okay. So here doctor will see directly by seeing the values and he'll do that one. Okay. Without studying the doctor, without doing the MBBS. Now also you have to predict whether the person has the liver problem or not. For that, what I'm going to give is past data, some data set I'm going to share to you. In that, some patients are there where they are having some kind of liver problem. Some patients are having liver problem and some patients are not having liver problem. And some values are there. Observe those values. Which value increases, which value is more miss, liver problem is there, which value is less miss, not liver problem is there. Just you have to compare. Okay, this particular value is more miss, liver problem. If this value is less miss, there is no liver. That whatever the analysis you want, you can do. Finally, you have to predict for me whether a person has the liver problem or not. Right? So for that, first I'm going to share you the previous data. This is called as past data. Now, based on the past data, after understanding, you have to predict this one. So I'm assuming. So based on whatever the data I have observed in the previous records, in the records I have observed this particular value, whoever has crossed this value, they are having the liver problem. So in my case also, this particular patient is having that problem. I'm assuming. You are predicting. Prediction is nothing but your assumption. You are giving the expected answer. Prediction is nothing but expected answer. It is not the exact answer. It is not the perfect answer. Exact. You are trying to give the expected answer. How much expectation is matching with respect to higher accuracy? That is the better the data scientist. Who is able to predict with more accurate results? He is the better the data scientist. Right? Now here I'm giving you the past data. Now based on the past data, you have to predict. Now simply to understand, simply I'm saying predict whether the person is having the liver problem or not. I ask you like this. So you don't know what is meant by liver problem first. For that liver problem, what type of test they will apply also you don't know. Nothing you know. You are a plain white paper. You don't know anything about the liver problem. Now what you are going to do? One, you can't say that your team leader or to your project manager, sir, I don't know about the liver problem. Never have worked on this data. So please don't give this project for me. You can't say like this. You're working in the company means whatever the project they have given, you have to work. Whether it is a mechanical related project also you have to work. Whether it is a aeronautics project also you have to work. Whether it is a healthcare also you have to work. All type of domains projects we have to work. We can't say that I'm come from computers background. I don't know what is meant by liver problem. You can't say like this. Now, what we have to do is, now the requirement is this one. This is called as business problem requirement. See here, first step is business understanding. Business understanding means you have to predict the person is whether he is whether the person is having a liver problem or not is the business problem. For that, we are understanding the data. For predicting whether the person is having the liver problem or not means first we have to get the past data. In the past data, we have to analyze. What type of past data you have to get? Scanning reports, right? Now, what type of scanning will be done for the liver? That you have to understand. For that, what is the thing you have to do is either you have to go with respect to, you have to ask in the team, there will be a member. That member is called as domain consultant. Domain consultant. His position is called as domain consultant. Now, what is this domain consultant person will do is, he will help us to understand this particular domain. Domain means he will help us to understand that data. Whatever the data is there, he will help us to understand that one. For example, in your team, there is no domain consultant. Means you only the domain consultant. You have to work. There is no budget for me to keep one more domain consultant. Means you have to do that, obviously. Right? Now, here first we have to get into the Google. In the Google, we have to see what is the liver test. Now you'll understand the liver test is called as LFT, liver function test. If you go to any diagnostic center and if you observe also, there also you can find this one. This is called as liver function test. Okay. Now based, if any person you want to predict whether he's having the problem on liver miss, first you have to apply the liver function test. Now based on the liver function test, let us go to the Google. In the Google, I'm writing liver function test. In my case, he is not working again. Let us try. FUNC. Oh, 1 minute, guys. Something. Okay, here we are having E now. Let us copy this E. Where is E letter? Copy. C letter. Next C letter. Where is C letter? Sorry guys, in my system it is not working. That is the reason I am doing this one. Function test. Others are working. Again, E is not working. Okay, fine. Successfully completed. Right. Now I am having the liver function test like this. Now this liver function test, if you observe the some kind of scanning reports, whatever the scanning reports, some kind of reports, if you observe the liver function test, here every liver function test will have some kind of values like this: albumine and total bilirubin, TB value, and alkaline aspartate, and this one, and all these things, right? So these values. So these are the different technical terms. Now, sir, what is meant by TB, sir? Total bilirubin. I don't know. Again, you have to do the research for that. Like this, we have to understand the entire data. Each and every variable name you have to work. Okay, each and every variable name you have to work, and you have to understand what is meant by this TB value. Some report. Let us take some kind of report. Any reports from. Okay. Okay. If you take the report, this is one of the reports, sample report. In this sample report, you are having the total bilirubin. Okay. Just let us click on this. Oh, video na. Guys, just a minute. Okay. Here we are having with respect to total bilirubin. Bilirubin total, that is TB. Bilirubin direct. Bilirubin indirect. The total direct and indirect total is nothing but total bilirubin. Total bilirubin, direct bilirubin, indirect bilirubin will be there. And TP, that is total protein. How much protein content is there? Albumine and globulin and AG ratio and SGOT, SGPT, and the ratio of SGPT and SGOT and alkaline phosphate. These are the various things. The same thing I have got in this one also. See, first one is TB value, DB value. Where is IDB value? Miss TB minus ID, TB minus DB, IB only na, indirect bilirubin only na. You have to create one more column for that. You have to create one more column stating with respect to TB minus DB. Automatically you will get the IB value, indirect bilirubin. Next, what is the next one we are having here? Protein, TP. That is nothing but, if you observe here, TP values. TP is nothing but total protein. Next one, what you are having is albumine. So just you can see here albumine values, AG. Now, sir, what is this AG and all these things? How I can know, sir? Miss, you are going to get these details from the data engineering team. How you are going to get the details from the data engineering team is in this manner. Okay, you are going to get details like this. So this data set was collected from the northeast of Andhra Pradesh. And here the output variable is whether the person is having the liver problem or not. And total the data set consists of 583 records, out of which 416 are liver patient records and 167 are non-liver patient records. And this age, first heading of age is then age is nothing but age of the patient. Gender is nothing but gender of the patient. TB is total bilirubin. DB is direct bilirubin. ALK PH4S means alkaline phosphate. SGPT means this one. SGOT, TP, ALB, AG ratio. This is the data which they have collected. Now from this, whatever the data we required. So here total bilirubin, direct bilirubin, total protein is there. Next albumine values are there. ALB is nothing but albumine. Next globulin values are there. AG ratio. AG ratio is there means albumine value is there means automatically globulin value will be there, right? So AG ratio will, how you are going to calculate AG ratio? A value divided by G value. You are having A value separately, A by G value separately. Can you calculate G value separately? G is nothing but A by G divided by A, or A divided by A by G. A divided by A by G. That is nothing but G will come into the top portion, right? Now, so this you are calculating SGOT values are there, SGPT values are there, and next ratio. If you want this ratio, how you have to create one more column, and alkaline phosphate values are there. So in this, almost everything data is there. Now, if whatever the additional data you want, you have to create that one. The ratios only, that columns you have to create. Okay, columns you have to create. Creating the columns which are required for you based on the input data, and based on that your calculation purpose, you are creating one more column is called as future engineering. Future engineering. Engineering means doing as per the requirements, right? So we are going to do as per the requirements. Now here we are having the data like age, gender, TB, DB, alpha-S, SGOT, TP, ALB, AG, and liver patient. Whether the person is a liver patient, yes or no. We are having the output like this, right? Now, what here I have done is, here I'm showing you only just 9 records. Actually, this is not the original data set. This is a sample data. I'm not taking the entire data, because if I load the entire data, what happens is first 5 records it will display, and last 5 records it will display. In between, it will keep dot, dot, dot like this. In between dots are there. How you can understand what the process I'm doing, and how you can see the answers. So that is the reason I have taken only a sample part. For explanation purpose, I have selected only the sample part where I have taken only 9 records. Right? Now, df.head is the first function where we are going to get the first 5 records. It is going to display the first 5 records. Head function gives the first 5 records. By default, first 5 records. So I want first 6 records means you have to write the 6 number. If you write 6 means 6 records will be printed. If you write 7 means 7 records will be printed. If you don't write anything means by default it is going to take 5 records. Right? That is the head. df.tail. Tail means it is going to take last 5 records by default. Okay. Next, df.shape. Shape means it is going to give you number of rows into number of columns. That is, in my data set I am having 9 rows with 11 columns. df.size. Size means total number of elements are present. That is 9 into 11, 99 elements are there. 99 values are there inside this. So 9 into 11. So 9 rows and 11 columns. Total inside 99 values are there. Right? Now, df.columns. df.columns means it is going to give you the column names. All the column names like age, gender, TB, DB, like this. All the column names it is going to show. Next, df.keys. Keys means nothing but again column names. Because this is dependent on the dictionaries. Pandas are designed based on the dictionaries. All the column names are called as keys. Yesterday only we have discussed in the data frame, the column names are considered as keys and inside the values. So either you can ask by using the df.keys or by using the df.columns. Both will be the same. Either one, any one. This is option 1 and this is option number 2. So I have written here clearly option number 2. Either you can select this one or this one. D types. df.d types gives you the for each and every column what is the data type. And finally, now till now whatever we have discussed, that is shape. We have seen the shape first step. Okay. After that we have seen with respect to the column names. Whatever the column names are the columns. Size is nothing but 9 into 11 only. Na? So this is not having any importance because multiplying of these two values only. So this is not having any importance. Shape and columns. And next one is D types. These are the 3 things we are having. So these three things I can get in one shot by using df.info. Everything I can get in the one shot by using df.info. Info means information. So clearly you can see here 9 records are there and columns are 11 columns are there. The shape you have got, that is 9 comma 11. So 9 records with 11 columns. You can see in the info directly the number of rows and number of columns. Next one, column names. What are the column names? Means these are the various column names. All the column names you can see here. Next, what are the D types? Means all the D types also you can see here. So these three you can write directly in one shot by df.info. Instead of writing these three separately, one shot, df.info, right? Concise of code. We used to call it as concise of code. df.info, right? Now, how to check the missing values? So here I'm going to use df.isnull.sum. Now first df means what is meant by df? Df is nothing but this entire data frame. Let us observe this entire data frame. This is the entire df. Now why I have selected a sample of 9 records only, the reason now you'll understand clearly. Now df.isNull. What is meant by isNull? IsNull means whether you are null. Is, whenever the word of is there, what is the output? Either true or false. Now it is going to check whether it is true or false. Whether this is a null value? No, it is false. It is null value? False. It is null value? False. False, 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 false. And it is false, false. Wherever the null value is present, it is going to give us true. Now the same thing you are going to get. If you ask like this, df.null is null. If you ask up to this one only, df.isNull, it is going to say either false or true. Wherever the missing values is there, that is considered as true. Now what I'm going to do is .sum. .sum. .sum means, what is the meaning of .sum? Sum is nothing but adding. Right? Sum is nothing but adding. You have to add this one. False plus false plus false. Whenever you are adding true Boolean values, automatically the Boolean will be converted to int. False plus false, what is the output? 0. If you add all of them, what is the output? 0. If you add all of them, this is one missing value, 2 are there. Now if you add all of them, 1, 0, 0, 0, 0. Again 2, again 0. This you are going to get as an output. 0, 2, 1, 0, 0, 0, 2, 0. For each column, just it is applying isNull, and after applying isNull, it is checking whether it is true or false. And based on that, it is adding them. Just it is adding all the values. Right? For example, let us take one more example. This is one of the most important. So that is the reason why I'm explaining one more example. Right? So for example, you are having a column. In this column, 24, 29, missing values there, 34, 38, 90, 93, something you are having like this, the values. Now, when you have applied isNull, you are going to get either false, false, true, false, false, false. When you have applied total, automatically the total will be 1. Means one missing value is there in this data. Like this, it is going to be useful. So, df.isNull.sum. Sum gives you the total. So, automatically when Boolean values are added, automatically it will be converted to int. Right? In Python. Next one is df.isNA. Either you can use isNull or isNA. This is the second option. Option number 2. 2 options are there. Okay, either you can go with isNull or isNA, any one. Sir, why you are showing 2 options, sir? Because I told you the reason, right, already. The reason is, now I will explain only df.isNull.sum. Suddenly you will prepare tomorrow from any one of the YouTube channel or any from one of the website or any from some materials like textbooks or something. In that particular material, this one will be there. Now, what will be in your mind? You will think that sir has given another option. Okay, we can go with this also. Or you will think that sir has skipped off this one. Which one you will think? Which one you will think? You have seen this one. Tomorrow, let us assume I have not explained this one. Suddenly you have seen in the other material or somewhere. What you will think? Sir has given other option, simplest option. Sir has given very simplest option. Do you think in this way or that way? So that is the reason I'm showing the two options. All the options I'm showing because the reason is that. Now after certain time, so next in 10 days, just now pandas was started now. In next 10 days, festival will start. Then you'll understand whatever I'm saying, it is the easiest one. Then you'll believe automatically. You'll not even open the other material also. It takes time. Now you are in the starting stage only now. Obviously, your mind will be running in a different way. After 10 days, everything will be calm down. Okay. At the time, whatever the option I'm saying, then you will believe. But it will take for me time that. Right? Now, next one is how to access a single column within the data frame. How to select a single column is we are having multiple options. For that one also we are having multiple options. Option one is df.tb. Means within the data frame, I want the TB column. Like this, you can select that particular TB column. Second option is df of square bracket of TB. This is the second option. Okay, first option is df.tb. Second option is this one. Now, assume that there is a column name called as number of hours. Number of hours. Like this, the column name is there. Now, if you go with the option number one, df dot number space of space like hours, if you go miss, it is going to throw an error. So the column names, whatever the column names are there, each column name should be the same as variable name. Whatever the conditions are there for the variable name, the same conditions are applicable for the column name. So since here this type of column name is not accepted as the variable name, so it is not going to work. Now then what we have to do? For this, either we have to replace the column and you have to do with respect to underscore something like this, or second option is you have to go with the df of this one, df of number of hours. If you write like this also, it will work. Now there will be no problem. In this case, it will work. Whereas here, it is going to throw an error. In your column name, if there is a space and if you're applying like that directly, then it is going to throw an error. This will got error. It will get an error. Whereas this will work. So generally we'll go with the second option. This is the option which will go. So how to access a single column is df of single column called as tb. Now this value, whatever the data frame is there, I want to convert this one to an array. The output, whatever the values are there, I want as an array. Dot values. Dot values means you are going to get as a array of values. The column name dot values means it is going to give the output as array. Earlier it is a with respect to pandas. Now it is an array. Right? Now, how to access a multiple columns? Means df of list of column names. Df square bracket within that list of column names. You have to write the column names. Whatever the column names are there, list of column names. It is one column name means directly you can write single column name. If it is multiple columns means list of column names. Whatever the column names you want, the list. Inside that you have to give the list. List of column names. So list of column names are nothing but you are selecting like this and you have got the output like this. These are the two columns. This column and this column. So you can access the single column by using df of tb. And by if you want to access two columns means you have to use list of column names. In this way you can access the columns. Now how to drop a particular row? If you want to remove a row, particular row, how to drop a row means df dot drop of row number, whatever the number index number is there, that index number you have to provide here. I want to drop the index number called as 0. And axis is equal to 0. What is meant by axis is equal to 0? Row wise. Axis is equal to 1 means column wise. In pandas, axis is equal to 0 means row. And axis is equal to 1 means columns. So here, whenever you have written the output as 0, here the value you have written the 0. This is considered as the index number. And axis is equal to 0 means it is going to remove that particular 0 column. Index number of 0. In this way, you can remove the value of the particular row. Okay, any particular row number you want to delete means you can delete in this way. For example, you want to remove the 6. Okay, index number 6 means this particular record you want to delete. So delete the 6. So 6 will be deleted. Whichever the value you want to delete, that one. From which data frame? df. The original data frame you want to remove this one. And you are going to store this one, whatever after deleting whatever the data frame you are having, you are storing in your new variable called as df1. Now your original data frame DF will be as is. It is not going to change. After modification, this row deletion, you have stored in the new data frame. You are not storing in the same data frame. You are storing in a new data frame. So the old one will not be affected. Right? Now, second option is index is equal to 0. Either you can write like this with respect to 0 and axis is equal to 0, you can write, or you can write like this also. Index is equal to 0. Then you don't need to write the axis word. Directly, if you write index is equal to 0, means 0th row will be deleted. Either that one or this one. So this is option number 1 and this is option number 2. Wherever there is a multiple options, I have written option 1 and option 2. You can follow any one. If you can remember 2 options, means okay. If you are not able to remember and you are getting confused, means remove one of them from your mind. Because both of them are going to give the same answer. Now the answer will not be different. Choice is yours. You can select like that. Now, if you want to delete the multiple rows, that is in NumPy. NumPy axis is equal to 0 is called as, and axis is equal to 1 in NumPy. This is row and this is column. This is NumPy. In Pandas, quite opposite. Axis is equal to 0 is row and axis is equal to 1 is column. For the NumPy library, it is working like this. For Pandas, it is working like this. Right? In the last class also, I have explained the same, just quite opposite. So after preparing NumPy, immediately if you prepare the Pandas, just light confusion will be there with respect to access. Right? How to delete the multiple rows means df.drop. How drop of number of list of index numbers. Whichever the index numbers you want to drop, take the list of them. And axis is equal to 0. Or directly use the word of index is equal to this one. Okay. Is that clear? How to drop the multiple rows? So how to drop a single row? df.drop. And after that, single row means whatever the index number is that index number you have to select here and you have to write that number and axis is equal to 0. How to drop the multiple rows means df.drop list of and axis is equal to 0. Simple. Simple. Right? If you want single value means write single value, multiple means write the list of values. Wherever single value, write the single value directly. Wherever the multiple values are there, take the list. Multiple values means list. Simple. Right? Similarly, how to drop a column? You can write the column name directly like this and axis is equal to 1. Here, whatever you have written, this is not the index number. You have written in the bracket, whatever you have written here, that 0, it is the row name. It is not the number. It is the name. For example, let us go like this. A data frame. A data frame is there like this, where the first column 1 and 2 and A, B, 3, 4, 5, 6. You are having like this. Now, if you write df.drop of 0 and axis is equal to 0, if you write means it is going to throw an error. Because this 0, it is not applicable here because it is identifying the whether the 0 with name is there or not. Name of 0 is there? Index name with 0? No. It is having the name of A. So you have to write here A. Then only it will work. So whatever the row name is there, that row name you have to use. In the last class, I have told you by default, the row name and the row index number both are same by default. Right? So in my case, that is the reason it is working. And df.drop db column name and axis is equal to 1. Axis is equal to 1 means it is going to check any column name with db is there. If you have written axis is equal to 0 means it will check any row name with db is there. Row name with db is there, it will check. If you write 1 means any column name with db is there or not, and it is going to remove that one. After removing, it is going to store into the df one. Right? Now it is getting stored like this. So db column was removed. If you want to write in the second option, columns is equal to db. Similarly, how we have written for index is equal to, here you can use the columns. You have to use the word called as columns. Next, how to delete the multiple columns means list. Just you have to write the list, right? And you can delete the columns. Is that clear? How to delete the rows and how to delete the columns. If you are getting confused, miss, remove the second option. If you are feeling confused, miss, remove the second option. You don't use the second option. Go with the first option blindly. Okay. Second options, in every case, remove the second option. Just df dot drop and write the name, axis is equal to 0. Df dot drop, write the list of names and axis is equal to 0. Df dot drop, column name, axis is equal to 1. Df dot list of column names, axis is equal to 1. Simple. Either go with that one or go with this one. Sometimes you go with that one and come. Sometimes if you go with this one, and at the end, if you are getting confused, miss, there'll be no use. So I'm not getting confused, sir. For me, it is very clear, miss. Okay. Right? In the interview, they are not going to ask what code is used for dropping. No one is going to ask. Okay. Remember, in interview, no one will ask like this. In the interview, what they'll do, you know, I already explained, I think. And once again, I'm saying, so once you share your resume to the companies, once your resume got shortlisted, they are going to share you a data set. And from this data set, whatever the expected answers, they'll ask these are the things I want from this data set. Predict this one or do that one, do this one. They will say that's something. And we have to do all those things and we have to identify the inferences or conclusions from the data set. And whether you have done, your friend has done, or your trainer has done, or whether you have copied from where, no one is going to ask. Once you have completed this one, you have to upload that answers to the company. Miss, you have to give the, again, once this is completed, answers will be there, right? That answers you have to resend to the mail. Now they are going to see that one. After seeing that one, now they are going to schedule the interview. In the interview, they'll ask this one only. First question is this one only. Okay. Why you have done in this way only? That is the first question. How you have done in this way? And what are the other options? Why you have not applied that one? Why you have done this one? Like this, they are going to ask the theoretical questions completely. Right? So they are not going to ask the coding related questions in the interview. So for example, your friend has done this one and you have shared to the company. They'll easily identify within first 5 minutes only. If someone has done this one and they have shared, miss, 5 minutes. The only thing is you'll get the interview chance, but not the job. If you do some kind of fake things, or resume, you have done something like this, up to interview you may get, but you will not get into the job unless your project manager is your friend. Right? So once we have to enter into the company, miss, here we have to apply our own knowledge. Right? Now, so that is, so in the mind, please remove the, if you are having in your mind that, sir, in the interview, if they ask this one, what we have to do. In the interview, they're not going to ask any coding related question. First, remove that one. Okay. Coding related questions will not be asked for the data science interviews. Coding related questions, they are not focusing on the code. After the code, output will come now. What you have understand from that output. That is important. Okay, output is there. From that, what you have understand. Is that clear? That is more important for us. For example, in this class, I am having the students. Both males are there, females are there. I want female data set. The entire data set is in the Excel sheet. Student name is there, gender is there, and either female or male is there. Names of the student and gender of the student, 2 columns are there. Now, total assume 180 students are there. 180 students, list is there. In the Excel sheet, list is there. Names of the student and gender of the student is there. Now I am going to write the code. I'll write the code with respect to how many gender with respect to females are there, how many males are there. I identified the answer. Okay. What is the use of this one? After this, what is the next step? You identified, okay, let us assume out of 180 students, females are 65 and males are 115. After that, after this, what you are understanding, that is important in data science. Not writing the code for this one and getting the output, this one is not important. We are not the developers to write the code. After this, what happens? What you have understand from this? That is important. Similarly, in my data set, more number of education is one more column. One student has written BTech, one student has written BSc, one student has written BCA, MCA, something like this I'm having. 180 students are there. Now you are going to get how many students are with BTech? 90 students are with BTech. How many of them are MTech? 25 students are MTech. How many of them are BSc? 25. How many of them are BCA? 90. Oh, sorry, 20. Something you have got like this values. Now, after this, what you are understanding? Most of the students in my batch is BTech students. That is the conclusion. And based on that, since most of the students are this one or most of the students are non-IT or IT, according to that, we are preparing. For example, in this class, more number of IT students are there. From IT background students are there. My training will be a different way. More number of non-IT students are there. The training will be a different way. Whatever we are completing for the IT students, for non-IT students, we have to explain in a simplest way. Till more simplest code we have to go. Right? If you are having a combination, that is both IT students are there, non-IT students are there in your batch. Now, the training should be in a different way. All this called as analysis. For data scientists, that is important. Not the code part is important. Don't focus on the code. Focus only on the output, what you are understanding from that. Right? For understanding that, first we have to write the code. Without writing the code, we can't get the output now. First, we have to write the code. After writing the code, we'll get the output and we have to focus on the output. Right? That is data analyst role. So for writing the code, these are the things are required. Okay. Than code, output is important. Understanding the output is important. When compared to out of these two, which is more important means understanding the output is more important. Right? So here, how to drop the single row I have shown you. How to drop the multiple rows I have shown you. Similarly, how to drop the single column and how to drop the multiple columns. Next, how to add a new column. For my data, how to add a new column. For example, I want the IB is the new column. What is the syntax miss? DF, I told you yesterday only. That is how to add a new column in the data frame. That is nothing but DF of whatever the new column name is there, that one. Right side, you have to give the values. I have shown you in the dictionary also the same. How to add a new value in the dictionary means you have to take the key, dictionary name, key, and the value. On the right side, you have to write the value. So here, this is the new DF and this is the new column name. So DF in bracket column name. This is the new column name. And right side values. What is the values means? The values after doing that TB minus DB. TB minus DB. TB means total bilirubin. DB means direct bilirubin. In the total bilirubin, it is going to consist of T total is equal to DB plus IB. That is total bilirubin plus indirect bilirubin. Now I want with respect to IB. So IB is nothing but equal to total bilirubin minus direct bilirubin. I am going to create a new column like this. A new column was created. So if you observe, TB is nothing but 0.7, IB is 0.1. 0.7 minus 0.1 is 0.6. 10.9 minus 5.5, 5.4, 7.4 minus. After one record, second record, automatically it is taking. Automatically it is taking the second record. It is not applying only on the one record. It is applying automatically for all the records it is applying. In the backend, it is for loop. For loop plus list plus numpy, it is called as pandas along with the dictionary. I told you right already. For loop plus list is called as numpy. Numpy with respect to numpy plus dictionary is called as pandas. Automatical numpy is there means automatical for loop and list also is there. Na? Just automatically it is applying the for loop. The backend code is for loop. This is also one of the function. In the backend, just it is applying with respect to the for loop. For each value, it is doing that one. Right? Similarly, df dot drop. I am dropping off whatever the column I have created. I am dropping off. So here you are dropping off. After dropping, again you are replacing in the original data. After dropping, you can create into a new variable or you can replace in the old variable also. For example, L is equal to A is equal to A plus 1. A is equal to A plus 1. Initially, A is equal to 10. What is the meaning of this? First, A plus 1, that is 11 will be carried. And after that, again, it is going to store in the A only. If it is mutable object means, it is going to save in the same object. If it is immutable means, it is going to create a new object. But Name will be the same. New object or old object or same object or that is going the question of new object or old object is with respect to mutable object or immutable. Tell me whether the pandas is mutable object or immutable. Mutable because it was made on the list. So list is mutable means automatically numpy is mutable. This one also mutable only. So now here whatever you are doing, just you are dropping the IB. Again you are storing in the DF. First right side part will be executed. Again then finally it is going to be stored in the DF only. Right? Now see here DF dot okay DF dot drop of columns is equal to TB. Now what is the meaning of this? Drop the column name TB column name you have to drop. Okay, dropped. Now you can see with respect to I'm printing the okay I executed the code was successfully executed and TB was dropped. TB is not there. Now if I ask again DF, okay, I am asking the DF value. Okay, so here DF dot drop columns is equal to TB you have written, and now you are asked TB there is no column called as TB dropped. Now you are having remaining 10 columns only is there. That column is not there. Now if you observe the DF once again, if you observe the DF, but DF is consisting of TB. Why? Because you have dropped here, but you have not stored that one. If you store only, it will store. If you are not stored, miss, just it is printing only. It is not storing. Now this one you have to store, miss, you have to write DF is equal to. If you write DF is equal to DF dot drop and columns is equal to TB, then what happens? The right side part will be executed. TB column will be dropped. After dropping, again it is going to store in the DF. Now if you print the DF, in the DF TB will not be there. Then TB will not be there. But without doing this one, you have done up to here only, miss. It is not getting stored. It is deleting. Okay, but it is not storing. So you are asking A is equal to 10. A plus 1. A plus 1 means what is the answer? 11. But 11 is getting stored. No, the value will not be stored until you save into a variable. Whether you are using A or B or something, that is secondary. But it has to be stored means you have to assign the variable. Without assigning to the variable, how it will be stored? So here also the same thing. It is doing the work, but it is not storing that one. So when you have written like this, so DF is equal to, now right side part will be executed, TB column will be dropped. After that, again it is going to be stored in the DF. Again it is going to store in the original DF, right? So in this way, you have to write that one. After that, after dropping, if you want to store means you have to write the variable. Otherwise, it will not store, right? Now, sir, if you consider this like this, DF is equal to DF dot drop and columns is equal to TB. TB column, comma, axis is equal to 1. Okay, it is dropping the column called as TB. Okay, sir, fine. Now, after dropping, it is getting stored in the DF. If I don't write this one, it is going to do the operation, but it is not getting stored. Sir, it has to be stored, miss. What is the other option, miss? Second option is, instead of writing DF is equal to like this, you can write like this. The second option is DF dot drop TB axis is equal to 1 as it is from here to here. You have to add in place is equal to true. In place is equal to true means after doing this operation, again store into the DF only. The meaning of in place is equal to true means the meaning of this is nothing but this one. Both are same. If you don't write the starting the variable name, just if you write the in place is equal to true means after removing, again it is going to store in the original one only. In place means the original one. In place means in the original one, again you place. Is equal to true means automatically it is going to place in the original one. So either you can write like this or like this, anything. If you are able to remember this one means okay. Otherwise this one, like similar kind of A is equal to A plus 1 or A plus is equal to 1. So whenever you have written the in place is equal to true, automatically it will take into the original data frame. Means this part will be added. Left side, this part will be added. Whatever the original data frame name is there, that will be added in the left side part. Is that clear? So now here, if you observe this one, TB was not deleted. Now I am going to do this one. See, in place is equal to true. I am writing in with respect to in place is equal to true. Okay. So first time I have not written the in place is equal to true, but TB was deleted. But in the original data, TB was not deleted. Now this time I am writing T in place is equal to true. Okay. Now if I am asking DF, TB is not there. In the original also, it has been removed. Got the point? Is that clear? Next, again bring back to the original data. Okay, you have deleted now. Again, if you want to bring back, I'm bringing back. Now you want to sort the values. DF dot sort values. Which column you want to sort? DB column. DB column you want to sort that too in the ascending order. So DB column will be sorted in the ascending order. Next, DB dot sort values. TP column. You want to sort the TP column in the ascending is equal to false. What is meant by ascending is equal to false? Descending order. You want to sort in the descending order TP column. So you are sorting this one in the TP column. TP column will be sorted. Right? So this is called as DF dot sort values. Okay. DF dot sort values is just sorting function. It is just applying the sorting function. Is that clear? And next, coming to the next part called as data extraction. One of the most important. Okay, out of entire data pandas, this is the most important one. Okay. Sir, can we sort with 2 columns at a time? No. How it is possible? It is not possible, na? Sir, can we change the position of column like in the starting or middle? Yes, you can replace. You can replace and you can interchange the positions. That is not a problem. That you can do. Right? Sir, in Excel also we can sort, right? Directly in the Excel also we can sort. But we are not doing the Excel sheet now. For sorting, we can't open the Excel sheet and we can't do there, right? For one thing, we are not opening one separately. Everything we are doing in the Python only. From the starting to ending, we have to do in the Python. So if there is a missing values, so the question is, if there is a missing values, let us take one of the missing value. Where is the missing value is there? Yeah, AG column is having the missing value. Now let us go with AG. Now AG column is having the missing value. Automatically the missing values are taken in the last. Right? Sir, by sort in the data set, it will affect now. If you store miss, it is going to affect. Just you want to see what is the maximum value of this one. For that, you are using this one. Just you want to see, for example, alkaline phosphate values are there. Here only 6 records or 8 records are there. Okay. But assume that there are 10,000 records are there. In that, what is the maximum value? What is the minimum value you have to identify? Or first 5 records you want to check. And you want in the sorting order. Then at the time you are going to apply this one. That is as per your requirement. If you require this one means you are going to apply. If it is not required means don't apply. Okay. Sort underscore values is the function where it is going to sort. The original data is not getting disturbed. See, if again I am asking the DF after sorting and now I am asking DF, the original data frame is not getting disturbed. The original data frame will not be disturbed because you are not storing this one. You are just printing only. Unless you write this one into a variable name by using the equal to, and if you write any variable name like QA something, then it is getting stored into that. Otherwise, it will not store. Right? Next, coming to the next one called as data extraction. Data extraction will be done in the different ways by using either conditions or by using the iLock options or lock and combination of all these things. And this part we are going to see in the tomorrow's class. It will not be completed in next 10 minutes. So this is one of the most important topic. Instead of hurry burry, we'll go in the tomorrow's class. Okay. Please prepare till whatever we have discussed, and we are going to extract the data. We are going to do the with respect to next group by functions and cross tab, so many things are there. One by one, we'll see. Right?